Hello and welcome to This Is Austin. Wait, no.
Nope.
Austin had to go do stuff like, I don't know, have a kid or something. So I brought in Ken, and we're going to talk about what's in our everyday carries.
I feel like that's the only time I'm ever on this.
Pretty
channel.
much because well, I would have this conversation with Austin. First of all, every time you talk to him, he's just like, "What's in your bag, Austin?" "Oh, let me show you about the Z Flip." I don't care.
Yeah.
So we had this conversation like a year ago at this point, and I feel like we have switched because when we had this conversation, I still am like I'm like a step away from getting the bomb shelter in my backyard. All I'm missing is the backyard. But I've really changed the way I have my everyday carry, and I feel like you've changed the way you have your everyday carry.
Yeah, I feel like in the year that I've done Denki so far, my priorities have kind of changed a little bit, but I think priorities for you have changed ever since you gave me a little bit of a sneak peek, but your situation in terms of the device that you carry is different.
I want to show you what like I used to carry around. I used to have this bad boy.
Ooh, heavy.
Which is dense.
Is this your vape?
No, it's not my vape because, wait. Vape. But this is just a nice little adapter thingy. A bunch of slots for SIM cards, for micro SD cards.
So this is just a very nice utility thing if you're carrying a lot of media, if you're like a photographer, or maybe you have a lot of phones that need to hop like SD cards.
So this was just cool to have. It's really lightweight. I don't know if I'm going to carry this around. I haven't really used it all that much. I have Thunderbolt cables. I have USB-C cables. I have headphones. I have a Thunderbolt 2 adapter.
Who the fuck still uses Thunderbolt 2?
I have a second Thunderbolt 2 adapter.
My guy. The only scenario where I can see you needing all of this is if you have friends that need this stuff. But do you even have that many friends?
I was doing all of this when I was like working on more like film sets. I was a DIT for a while. I needed a lot of connectivity for different devices, a couple different power bricks and stuff like that. So like this got really heavy. So I was carrying around this with me every day, and I hated that. And I also used to carry around my MacBook.
The good old reliable.
And the key word here is I used to. I want to show you my bag. I want you to show me your bag.
Sure. So I actually got sent this out from Bellroy. This is the Tokyo Tote. People from there love their tote bags, and I also needed a backpack. So it is the best of both worlds, has a handle on top. It's a little heavy right now because I have this configured for both everyday and for travel. I'm actually making a Denki video specifically on the travel portion, but my everyday carry is not too far off. First of all, one of my favorite things is, right, like if I'm taking this backpack out to like a restaurant or if I'm just carrying around with me every day, I have this little hook that I like carrying around. So this allows me to hang the bag pretty much anywhere with a table surface. I don't have the arm strength for this.
I'm looking at how heavy that bag is.
It's not heavy like this every day because this has my whole entire kit in here. My camera, my Sony FX3. Also got batteries, mics, my laptop. I got my wallet. Got a nice little cable bag, much like yours, only a little smaller, maybe a little fatter.
I'm looking at how hard it is for you to get stuff out of this bag too.
Look, when I get to my destination, this is not with me all the time, but this is where my camera kit is, and I also have my laptop. You want to see what's in this thing?
Was that Legos?
It's actually just Advil and allergy meds. This bag has a lot of stuff that I need on a regular basis, and maybe a few of the things that I might need in edge cases. For example, I have a Thunderbolt 4 drive that's like, I think this is 2 terabytes. I also have a bunch of cables. I think you have this, don't you?
I do. So our friends over at Deity, when we saw them, they gave us these nifty little pouches.
Yeah.
And it's like my new favorite thing. I know there's a lot of people who love like the super chunky cables. I hate that so much. Like it just, to me, it's so cumbersome.
It's so cool though. Look at it. It matches my Playdate.
Okay. None of my stuff is color coordinated.
Yeah.
You're gonna find a lot of my stuff is white just because it's Apple stuff.
What is throwing it off though is the Razer Power Brick. Can do, I think, 130 watts total. Can charge the MacBook at full speed. I also have a Walkman. new Walkman.
Yeah.
It's charming. Obviously has a headphone jack on the bottom. Does all of the nice Bluetooth goodies. Has micro SD, so if you store a lot of music, which not many people own their music at this point. The thing is that like ever since I've been doing Denki, and I have an editor now, Luke, who's awesome. It's helping me with a lot of stuff. But up until this point, I've needed to have a lot of this stuff on me to be ready for any Denki shoot that I come across, especially when I'm on the go.
No, I don't do any of that.
I have my camera kit in here, as I mentioned earlier. Got the Sony FX3. Bam! Got a battery case in here that charges via USB-C. Oh, I also have a Z Fold 4. My Shargeek. What is this? The Shargeek Storm 2. You can see through it. It has a screen to tell you all the outputs and stuff. It is a very handy little device. I can't stress enough that this is the exact opposite of what we went through last year. Because last year, I was minimalist. I was like, I'm not taking anything.
Ken had like a Z Flip and that's it.
Now I have the kitchen sink and everything else in the kitchen. Okay, but this is the last cool thing though. This is a DJI microphone set. This DJI set looks like AirPods, but they're little microphones that you can clip onto your shirt and stuff to record audio.
All right, let me ask you though, like, what's in your pocket?
An iPhone 14 Pro Max.
Okay.
Oh, and I also have an Apple Card.
I carry around iPhone 14 Pro, which I don't like. I want my mini back. So I got some AirPods.
Yeah, of course, naturally.
I got my keys. I get more into much more of
You're the guy that I get stuck behind at the airport.
I used to carry around like a big multi-tool. So this is a Gerber. It's got a knife. It's got a screwdriver.
Oh, and it has little things too. It has like a little itty bitty knife.
The weight I have carrying around with me, which is already just astronomical because, I mean, look at me. Just having the weight in my pockets reduced was big. When I travel around my everyday carry, I like to carry my backpack everywhere. He's gonna cut my hair. I like to carry my backpack around everywhere, and I'm like, oh man, like this is actually like starting to hurt my shoulders, my back if I'm carrying this around, especially at like trade shows.
We recently went to NAB and CES, and like your pack got progressively lighter the longer we stayed in Vegas.
Because I'm like, I don't want to carry this around. I just nuked everything and started from scratch, and I'm so much more happy. So the bag I have is the same. So I've had this bag forever. It's nothing special, but it just works for me really well. I got my little Lego space patch, whatever. So I have a pair of mechanics work gloves, which I got to replace.
These have seen better days.
Yeah,
dude.
they got a lot of holes in them. I got to replace them.
Wow.
I have a very bright flashlight. Let me show you what I actually keep around here, because it's not much. My laptop sleeve, empty. Because I need my laptop less and less now that I'm not making thumbnails. So what am I using instead of the MacBook is an iPad mini.
Hey yo, I love these things.
So I have been able to replace pretty much everything in my workflow with an iPad mini. All the stuff I do for YouTube the past like 2-3 weeks or whatever, I've done it all on the mini. I have gone through a handful of cases for this. This case here, again, is nothing special. I just kind of like that it looked like a moleskin notebook. What I like to do, and Kinsey gets mad at me for this, is this fits in my back pocket. So like I've been walking around the office with this just out of my pocket. My only regret, because this is only a 64 gig model.
Yeah.
I got this for super cheap. The only regret I have is that I didn't get the cellular version of this.
Yeah.
My last iPad did have cellular. I like that. Now my backpack is set up in a way that it's modular. So it's like if I'm going on like a shoot, I'll bring that extra bag of all
Absolutely,
stuff.
yeah.
But I have plenty of room in there. So here's what I got the rest of it. So I have my little pouch of deity cables, which is just all the chargers I need throughout the day. A charger for the watch I'm not wearing right now. All right, so my phone, my iPad, and then my
Your watch.
My watch. So those all go there. As far as charging goes, I've gotten rid of bricks and I just use this single, it's a GAN Prime charging block.
I love this thing so much. I need to get one of these.
It's super lightweight. It's got 2 A ports, 2 C. This can do 100 watt power delivery. It's an extension cord as well if I need it. You know, if I'm in a hotel, plug this in, I got everything I need. I know that this is not the best product in the world, but the way I use it, I really like. I think I have tried every MagSafe battery. I have the Anchor one. I have all of them. This is fine. It's not great. It can't even charge the full thing, which I understand is a no-no for some people, but the way I use it, that's okay. So when I get to a hotel room, instead of charging my phone with this lightning cable, I charge the battery.
Yeah.
And then throw this on the MagSafe charger like that. So it's charging both of them overnight.
So you actually can have more power in the day if you need it. You
So
have your spare. Or you could just buy a Pro Max and have more battery and a bigger screen. And
I don't want
but you're carrying two things.
that I could put in my bag and not have to carry it.
I can cut this in half.
I got my Char Geek.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
I'm gonna put this over here so you can't take it. And then the only other thing I have in my bag, I do carry around. This is the one piece of production gear that I carry around with me. So this is just a little brick light that's got a magnet on it.
It's fully diffused, right? The LEDs are literally behind here. There's there's 12 in there.
Talking about like my prepper type of things.
Yeah.
Having a light like this, like, oh, like God forbid we're stuck in the dark or whatever. The battery on this, even though this one is dead right now, it lasts a long time. So I do have a couple other things. I have what I call my Apple alternative pouch. So I have my Surface Duo, and I really hate using AirPods with the Surface Duo. It just doesn't work with Android that well. So I do carry around a second pair of, I got Samsung, the cheap Link Buds.
Yeah, I actually do the same. I don't have them on me right now, but I normally carry around AirPods Pro 2 as well. But I have Sony Link Buds S, which have been my favorite non-Apple earbuds.
The actual last thing, he goes with me everywhere.
I know what this is. It's the little Martian.
This is Jeremy, my Martian. Anyone who's ever gone to RIT and had a class with one of the professors, Carl, at the end of the class, he hands out these little Martians. He has this big bag of them. And so this is just like a weird little fraternity of people who have had this little Martian.
I have mine on my desk at home too.
He goes with me everywhere for the past about 10 years now.
A lot of people don't really know that about us. Like, we went to the same school. Matt was actually my professor, which is kind of funny how that worked out.
Yeah, I mean, you used to say you're my boss, but now we are equal footing. So suck it, Ken. But like, my pile here is much smaller than your pile.
Okay. Ignoring the camera that I'm gonna take for traveling, my everyday carry, barring the camera stuff.
He's still putting stuff away.
Barring the camera things, this all fits in here. Look at this. Look at this. It's small and
Look how much he has to put away. The big question is like, all right, if I'm having so little, why don't I get a smaller bag? And the idea is because I don't want to switch bags. Not just like, I don't want to switch bags in general. I don't want to switch bags if I need to carry something extra. So if I am going on a shoot, if I am going traveling, this bag here, what I can fit in this bag, about 3 days worth of extra clothes. So like I could easily fit that in this bag now, so I don't have to take a suitcase or another bag with me if I travel. I like having that flexibility. And then again, like if I'm going to like a trade show, they love to give out swag at trade shows.
Oh yeah. So the amount of times we had to throw away swag because we don't have room in our bags, but you have all the.
I have all the room in the bag.
Okay.
So like I like having just a big bag of a lot of space. If I accumulate objects throughout the day,
sure,
I have a place to put them. I'm very happy with this setup. It's super easy to manage. I don't feel like I have to charge 1,000 things.
That's my compromise with this bag is I am down to the wire with it. I might have a little extra space for maybe like an umbrella or a water bottle, but other than that, there isn't a lot of room for anything else, which is why usually when I go out somewhere, I usually have to bring like a little extra thing.
Which is why I win this one. So 5 points to Matt. Ding, 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 ding. Let us know what is in your everyday carry. Let us know who has the better everyday carry. It's me. Let us know when you're going to go watch Denki's actual everyday carry video. Check him out over there. Like, follow, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.